for
Go ahead.
today, and I have Kevin Qian. Is that correct? Well, welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast. My name
Yeah.
is Ian Ray, your host. Is that how you
Qian.
pronounce your last name?
It's okay. Yeah. Kevin Qian.
Pete Chen. So he is a registered massage therapist, FST practitioner, and also a business owner. And I interviewed him because coming from Montreal, Quebec, and so definitely something I want to interview him is a little bit more about how his story of how he got into doing FSD with being an RMT, and of course, starting his business. So, Kevin, welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast.
Thank you. It's an honor.
So, for those of you who probably don't know much about who you are, can you explain to me who is Kevin? What does he do? What's his background and so forth?
So I've been in massage therapist for now 8 years, and I would like specify like I'm a sports massage therapist. So I mainly work with athletes, although my clientele like range from like people that are very sedentary that like have chronic pain and uh, and all the way to like professional athletes. And also,
Uh-huh.
2 years ago, I started my own business. I opened a multidisciplinary clinic called the MVT Plus. So basically, it's all like kind of like all under one roof solution. So we offer physical therapy, osteopathy, sports massage, and physical conditioning, all in the same clinic. So I feel that's a very good ecosystem, and one's like feeding off of each other, and like, it's the complete, I would say almost complete like manual therapy circle, because massage is great, but very often if you want to have long-term therapeutic results, you need rehab. But sometimes the opposite is true. Like the clients like trying to do rehab, but they feel like so stiff, but there's so much inflammation, there's so much pain. They can't do the exercise that physio gives them. So then they ship it to either the osteo in house or the sports massage therapist. So to reduce pain, swelling, inflammation, so they can move better and pain free. Yeah, and otherwise that's gonna be a little bit long. But I'm also an athlete myself, and I'm also a professional dancer. More specifically, a breaker, and also a personal trainer. And yeah, yeah, that's about it.
So were you a breaker before you got becoming an RMT, or when did that come into play?
So yeah, I've been a breaker for close to 15 years. Started when I was about 17. So if you make quick math, it's 30, I'm 30, 32 in April. So yeah, it's been a while. And RMT has been 8 years. Yeah, that kind of ties to like why I became an RMT. It's because breaking is like you have so much injuries. It's kind of an extreme sport. It's like not like your typical, not that like can be extreme, but it's not like little Zumba type of sports. It's a little bit intense. You don't spin in your head in Zumba.
Yeah, no,
Shout out to my
definitely.
Zumba people.
Put yourself in some. You can put your body in some vulnerable positions of getting injured. So it takes a lot of strength, I'd say.
Yeah, everything: strength, mobility, flexibility, no fear.
So, I guess another question I have for you is, how did you find out about the Stretch to Win Institute?
So basically, it was one of my friends who's an osteopath. He
Uh-huh.
like, yo, to try this. This is called FSD. It's amazing. It's super gentle. It's super nice. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, whatever. It's bullshit. It's and then he did it to me once. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I need to get out of this cult. And then also like in sports massage, we kind of do form of assisted stretching. It's very different from FST in a sense, like we stretch more like muscles rather than fascia line. And there was
Mhm.
some type of uh, in Quebec we call it periarticular work. So it's like joint mobilization, but that's also different from FST and stuff. So like I was like I tried it and I was like, oh, that's nice. I gotta get on this, you know. And there's also this clinic in Montreal that I think it's the only clinic that's like specialized in stretching and FST, mainly FST. It's called the Optimal Stretch Clinic. I'll just shout out to them.
Oh
Super
yeah,
sweet
with
people.
Charlie Cabrera.
Yeah, yeah, Charlie,
Yeah.
the legendary Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. Love you, Charlie. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So I I was like, I messaged them. I was like, I want to try like a full on FST session. Tried it. Was super nice. I was like, okay, now I need to get on this hype train. So yeah, I did it. I think in 2022. So yeah, 2022 that was or 2023. It's I don't remember. I think 2023. But yeah, and I think this year I'm doing my level two. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's when I did my FST course.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah, that's something that I'm not sure, what as far as like in Quebec, like how common it is to find FST practitioner more than say like in Ontario. But definitely, I hope it's a growing thing there. Did you have any initial thoughts about enrolling with the Stretch to Win course? Like any hesitancy, or were you kind of like I said, you were already on that hype train of being having done an FSD session, and then your friend that's an osteopath kind of like hyped it up.
So yeah, it's already on the hype train, and it's like I feel like as a soft surface, it's well, no, I want to bash, but like a lot of soft surface are stagnant. They don't like take continuing education. Because like for let's say for example, physical therapists, athletic therapists, kinesiologists, they have to do a certain amount of hours every year
Mm-hmm.
to their license. We don't have well in Quebec, we don't have that for massage therapist. So you could just have the basic training as a massage therapist in Quebec, and you'd be good for life. Technically, you don't need to take further training. So I feel like that's like such a stagnant way. So that's something that like I maintain throughout my career, and I think that's why I have such a competitive edge on a lot of therapists here. Is that I spend about between 3 to 4K a year on taking conditioning, continuing education to always be the cutting edge because there's always stuff to learn. And even with all the hours
Yeah,
I've like, I took to train further, I still feel like I can improve my skills and I still feel like I can still learn a lot.
that's crazy to think that you don't need continuing education for RNT up there in Quebec. So yeah, I know I know for sure. I'm not sure actually, but I know here in the U.S., for myself, like I'm not an RMT or anything, but I'm just an FSC practitioner. So definitely in Canada, it's different, right? You have to kind of be a RMT in order to do FSD.
It's very different. So Canada's regulation for massage therapy is a little bit all over the place. I'm not gonna go too much into details, but it's basically there's a regulation that is different for each provinces, and there are two provinces in Canada that's like they're kind of special and weird in their regulation, and those two
Uh-huh.
provinces are Alberta and Quebec. Because of course Quebec is special, So so the only two provinces that do not have a professional order. We have professional associations, but not an order per se that regulates massage therapy in Quebec. While all the other provinces, Ontario, British Columbia, or like I don't know all the other provinces. These are the most important provinces. Anything else doesn't exist. But I was just kidding. Like all the other provinces, you have an order that regulate and have a standard for massage therapy education. But in Quebec, you
Okay.
just you have a bunch of professional associations. We have three big ones, and the rest are kind of I'm gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say no comments. There's three big ones, and they regulate massage therapy. But I would say like the big difference in Quebec is massage therapy is a very quick training. Like if you want to
Mm,
become a massage therapist, it's the basic training is about 400 hours. So it's about 6 months. So until like
okay.
to do it full time, and then you can become a massage therapist. But in most other provinces, it's a trade school or university degree, and it's about between 1,500 to 2,000 hours of training.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Okay, so that's definitely pretty extensive training that you need to get there to
Yeah.
be an RMT. So for you and your clinic, MVT Plus, have you found any like success stories or some wins of how clients have benefited from fascia stretch therapy in their sessions?
Oh yeah, all the time, man. In our our society, it's like people don't stretch, and with that being said, I don't stretch enough. It's like I'm not like I'm not this messiah that is better than everyone and stuff. As an athlete, I stretch more than the average regular Joe, but I still don't stretch enough for the amount of like physical conditioning I do, and I don't stretch enough for the
Mm-hmm.
mobility that I need for my sports. That's in the ongoing stuff. I'm stretching. That's like 2025. I'm like, okay, I need to stretch more. But yeah, it's just like a bunch of issues like that are caused by like under stretching and like sedentary lifestyle, you know, sciaticas. Well, okay, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because it's complex issues, but like a lot of the time it's gonna help lower the symptoms if you stretch, you have sciatica, you have nerve impingement. Well, that's also another topic, but it's a little bit more complex nerve impingement. But if it's a fake nerve impingement, most of the time stretching is gonna help reduce some of the symptoms. But if it's a real nerve entrapment, that's another story. But yeah, so yeah, like a lot of success, and even like just even not talking about pathology, like athletes that just want to increase their range of motion quickly is a very powerful tool.
Do most people come to your clinic learn about what fascia is and like how it's different than just regular, static or dynamic stretching? Like, do you have to explain fascia and like why it's so different?
Explain it like most of the time. I try to educate my clients a little bit, but I think like how I educate my clients is more like about lifestyle changes. Because at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it's like, and like you're only with them for an hour or an hour and a half in their month most of the time. Or if even in my high level athletes, I see them at most once a week. So, it's like that's where I put more of my focus on is educate them to do lasting lifestyle changes, because that's the thing that's gonna do the most long lasting impact, in my opinion. Because the like most like most of their pain, symptoms, injury, whatever, and so on, like it's a symptom of their movement patterns that they either that are inefficient or they're overdoing a certain movement pattern. So I prefer to educate them. Okay, like when you after working 20 minutes in front of a computer, take a walk, or like for my athletes, it's like, doing some mobility work after you're doing your CrossFit class would be a good idea. What I mean? So yeah, that's what I like to put more of my focus on. Because then, if I start ranting about fashion, I'm like, okay, you're ready to talk about fashion? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be a lot for some person after going through that in that depth of lifestyle changes and yeah, fascia, because fascia can be so complex. But it's great that you're educating your clients, of course, with the lifestyle changes, because like I agree, it's what are they doing from the time that they get off the table until you see them next, because that hour and a half that you have with them, it's great. They're gonna get the benefits, but it's not going to last for a week. I mean, we're like you're saying, it's more of a longevity game of, how can you educate them of their daily living and like how they're moving. So, props to you, man. Educating clients is huge. Um, as far as like for you, and your clinicians there, how do you guys typically find new clients, and how do you like market your services around there in Quebec?
And so personally, us, like, uh, we have a pretty solid reputation already. But I would say our biggest marketing driver may and always will be Google. Google SEOs. It's I think a good 50 to 60% of our traffic comes from Google, either Google Maps or SEOs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell like most business owners. If you're not on Google, you're bro, you're fucked up, man. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, like even when you, as yourself, when you look for a restaurant, you go on Instagram, find a restaurant. No, you go on Google, so you like Google it out. Like, and also the quality of leads on Google is much higher. The conversion rate is much higher because people are already looking for you. You don't have, it's not cold calls, it's not cold leads through like, Instagram or Facebook ads, so on and so on. Like, already when you have a strong presence on, either SEOs or Google, it's, the
Mm-hmm.
leads are already hot, so it's like much cheaper to convert them. That, but with that having said, branding and identity of your business is also super important. So what I have as a feedback from a lot of my clients is that they find us on Google and then they do their research. They look at our social medias, they look at our website. They're like, yo, it's like I would say like Instagram and Facebook, they don't um they don't give us a lot of leads, but they definitely help us
Uh,
convert. Especially like the younger generations and stuff, they want to know, okay, who are these guys? Like, why would I choose this clinic over this massive, like, we have these big chains of physical therapy here in Quebec called Kinetics or Action Spark Physio, which are like massive franchises with like 20, 30-ish locations. Like, why would they choose us, which we're a small clinic? Why would they choose us? So that's like branding and brand identity, social media is like super important. That's how I see approaching. And I would say a good 30% of our client base, they comes from just word to mouth. I think word to mouth is the highest converting form of marketing, and it's the oldest form. And in my opinion, it's also one of the best because like you have that reference from your friends. It's like, yo, you should check this clinic out. I had this kink in my neck and disappeared after one appointment. That's gonna be the best form of marketing, in my opinion, because the oldest and still gonna be the best.
yeah. Do you guys typically treat like, I guess, what's your demographic and population that you typically are coming to MVT Plus? Are they like older, active professionals, like say athletes?
I would say our demographic is it's pretty specific. I would say our biggest chunks are female, age between 30, 35. white collar, relatively active lifestyle. So I would say that's 60% of our client base, just for
Mm-hmm.
multiple reasons. Because just in female psychology, female tend to take care more of themselves. So guys like, oh, it's okay, I'll tough it out, I'll tough it out, I'll tough it out. And then the apocalypse, and then they're like, no, I need help right now. Women in general have a tendency to like look more about their health. They're more health conscious than men, and they just take care of themselves more. And white collar because they have disposable income and they have the insurance too. To
Mm.
so they not even out of pocket. So I would say that's a good 60 to 50% of our client base. And then the rest, I would say it's like the opposites, the spectrum about like same thing, men between 30 to 35, white collar, relatively active lifestyle. I would say that's a good 30-ish% of our clients. And then 10% is like the rest is like general tops. So like older, younger, sedentary, active, athletes. So that's, I would say, the rest of the 10%, if I, or 20%.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a massage therapist, not good at that.
um, what are some of your like long term goals for MVT Plus? Like, what do you hope to accomplish? In the near future, do you have any long term goals?
Uh, for MVT Plus, right now, most of my personal goal with the clinics are pretty much achieved. But I have my colleague, yeah, he's basically the rocket fuel for the business. He has like even bigger goals and stuff, and I let him take care of that for the business. And the thing he wants to open a second location. He wants to like sponsor like big sports events. He wants to treat like very high level professional athletes. He wants to get in like multiple like healthcare center, like in the long-term elderly care facilities and stuff. And he wants to have our own branded products. So like our own like kinesiology tape, our own massage balls, our own foam rollers, eventually our own cupping lines, like cupping sets, because we don't like most cups that are on the market right now. Oh, by the way, cupping is
Uh,
also a big part of our clinic. We're very cupping orientated. So like, but we feel like most apps that we use are kind of like bullshit. So eventually we'd like to like work with suppliers and make our own custom cupping equipment. So that's his project on his side. So a lot of
uh-huh.
big moves to do. He is like he wants to start the brand M4M for movement, you know, or was it movement for movers, or movers for movement? Anyways, so that's his part of the business, and he's fucking throwing the rocket fuel on it, like SpaceX this shit. But anyways, shout down to this. But anyways, so he's doing that. Me on my side, I'm more leading on the education. I've always been that one that I used to teach that for like the past 12 years. I'm retiring
Uh-huh.
this year because I'm tired of teaching kids. And kids these days are weak. But anyways, that's another topic. Uh, so yeah, my long term, I would say not even long term goals, midterm goals. Like the next few years, I want to shift to teaching, and I want to shift to being, well, maybe that's a little bit ambitious, but I think I can do it. Being the best massage therapist in Canada and maybe in North America, and specialize like the best sports massage therapist in Canada, if not in North America, and maybe like work like in the US eventually, like with professional athletes. Because like Canadian economy's not doing so well. So, it's like I like to work in the US as a sports philanthropist, and there's just more money to be made there. And yeah, also education. I follow a couple of um, famous philanthropists on Instagram, and they're just touring the world, teaching workshops around the world. I'm like, man, that's goals. That's what I want to do. Like tour the world, teach my skills to aspiring massage therapists too.
Yeah, and so I guess to kind of piggyback on that, I know you just did an in-person workshop. Tell me a little bit about like what got you to doing this in-person workshop for RMTs there. And then I know you have
Uh,
an acronym that I saw. I saw an acronym of MEAT, MEAT.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I've been working on this course for a year, and it's probably
Mm-hmm.
still going to be another work in progress for another year. Uh, 'Cause it's always that debate that's like, okay, I need to add more stuff to my course. But then as I taught it in person, I was like, okay, maybe there's too much stuff. People are kind of like saying their brain, they're like overwhelmed with all the knowledge. But I always, it's that weird balance of like adding enough stuff, but not adding too much. So it's hard to balance it out. But it's a hybrid training that I'm planning because we're in 2025. So I want to have developed the online course part of it, kind of like the FST course, but I would say more optimized. Because well, shout out to FST, I love your course, but your video needs some work, man. And this might say that like super well explained, but you need to hire better videographers. But anyways, so so you know what I mean. But anyways, so I want the course to have videographic components, so my students can watch the course online, and then when they come to the in-person workshop, it's fast. Like they already know what I'm teaching, and they can just practice it in person. And yeah, so that's the and I call it the well, maybe I'm gonna change the name in the future. Because like I said, I thought it was really cool when I made it up, but then in the real world, maybe people gonna think it's cringy, but I call it the maximum efficiency technique. Because always that's my motto. It's not like just be. I always say that like no matter like what's the situation in life, I'm like, I eat that Chinese buffet, all you can eat. So, gotta get to your protein, man. Maximum gains, bro. It's, get 200 grams of protein, just those gains. So that's why I call it like that. And also it goes back to like, my own experience of the massage therapist. Most massage therapists burn out within 3 years, 3 to 5 years of their profession. And I'm not pulling these stats out of my ass. It literally comes from the Massage Therapy Association of America. It's 70% burnout within 3 to 5 years of their career. Uh, because of
No way.
injuries, burnouts, uh, not enough income, and a combination of all the above. And I would say a big
Mm,
factor of this is in this profession, I would say it's heavily skewed toward women. There's more female massage therapists
mhm.
than men massage therapists, and just like also it's a profession that like can be highly lucrative. In my opinion, I'm a like a good example. But you need to be in the top physical shape to be able to perform, especially at a high level. No matter what you do, whether it's like relaxation, Swedish massage, or sports massage, or lobi lobi, or like shiatsu, whatever style of massage you do, you need to be in top physical shape, and you also need to have efficient techniques. Which, in my opinion, most education system in massage therapy are very good for the receiver, the person on the table, or the person on the floor, but they're not optimal for the practitioner. And you know, the stats are not lying. Like most practitioners have a history of injury practicing massage therapy, and like
Yeah.
although there's massage therapists that are injured, either spinal tendonitis, wrist sprain, or
Frozen shoulders.
like frozen shoulders, or like that's
Hmm.
just a few injuries. The list goes on. So yeah, that's what made me want to develop this course because I'm definitely an outlier like out there as a massage therapist. Not trying to brag or anything. Like I treat about between 30 clients a week, and during peak
Hmm.
season it can go up to 40 clients a week. So and my hourly rate is pretty good. So, that's what I meant. Like, it can be a very lucrative career, but you need to be able to perform. And that's the difficult part. Kind of like wise American philosopher said, DJ Khaled said, suffering from success. It's
dropping lines there. Okay.
another one.
No, that's such. No, that's crazy. Yeah. I think if we, and this is probably me, but with the amount of massage therapists that there are in the world, if they see FST as another avenue to A, bring in income, or two, B, to treat their clients, I think it'll open so much doors. And I mean, like I said, it'll be so much easier on their body so that they can continue to extend their career. Because FST is, yeah, it can be tiring, if you have a heavier person, but that's the beautiful part is like you can use your leverage on that person on the table. So you're not putting yourself in a vulnerable position. And then B, like another thing is like, it should be gentle, less is more, right? That they say.
Yeah.
But so that's, I think, that's my hope is that with RMTs, here, US, Canada, worldwide, that they see FSD as a legitimate way to continue to, expand those joints, to lengthen those tissues, while including massage. Because, yeah, it's there. I can see so many massage therapists that I've talked to personally that, like I said, they always have some kind of injuries, with their extremities, elbows, wrists, like you're saying, neck. I mean, it is tiring. I mean, you're putting your whole body into that person, whether if they're rock solid or if they're fluid, it's tough work, man. And I'm not an RMT, and I just feel it like 30, 40 clients, that's crazy. So yeah, definitely got to be tip top shape, man.
Yeah.
Another question I have for you is, how do you see fascia stretch therapy evolving in the future, in the coming years? So you've been doing FST for, past 2-3 years, but where do you see FST evolving?
I think in Quebec, it's gonna start to be more and more popular as people, because we have this, I think in our generation, and in the upcoming generation, we have this awareness for health and wellness that wasn't as present both in the culture and general mainstream of older generation. And personally, as a uh, immigrant, a first generation immigrants, I saw like how my parents neglected their health for um, for work, but also kind of understandably, they came here, they had nothing, they knew no one, they didn't know the language, so they had no choice but to work their ass off and neglect
Mm-hmm.
their health. So there's that too, but like I feel like I think in this general, it's gonna help continue like this trend of like taking care of yourself, and I think you're gonna see like people in our generation, like I don't know how old you are, but I think we're around the same age as the people. Once we reach like our 70s and 80s, will be generally more in much better shape than the generation of our parents, because we just know, and also exercise science evolved a lot too the past few years. So so yeah, and even just health science in general evolved a lot. So people are gonna be more mobile and like just less pain and have better posture when they get older. And things like you have this example in Asian countries, like you see like 70-year-old, 80-year-old like doing calisthenics in the park and like drinking tea and playing chess all day with their friends and stuff. You don't see that in North America. You don't see elderly people doing like fucking pull-ups and like stretching in the park and stuff. So I think that's gonna be a trend in for us in North America, hopefully.
Yeah. Um, And then I guess for you, my last question is how did you grow your business from the time that you started MVT to currently the way it is? How did you grow your team? How did you grow your business? What's the key to success for you so far?
So that's my advice for whoever, whatever business owners, whether restaurant owners, but I would say this is more specific for like people in the physical conditioning or manual therapy or massage therapist. Just fucking short, you know what I mean? Just like when I started the clinic, we were working for free a lot, but like for good exposure. You know, not saying that we should work for free, but we went into golf events and treated people for free. We went to dance competition and treated people for free. We went to CrossFit competition. We went to marathon. We went to treat people in the elderly care center. We went to like every type of event there was, we were there. And also we were there on social media and also all the stuff that we did. It was like we were posting, and yeah, just be there and put in the work. Like, it's but with the small caveat that I almost had a burnout, because you know I'm Asian. We work a lot until like we burn out. Then say, okay, we're fine. We're not fine. And then disappear for a couple of weeks and then we come back. So, you know, just be careful with that. Uh,
Mhm.
Having experienced that myself, but just like, yeah, it's just there's no secret recipe. And I think that's the same for no matter what business you do. Just fucking work and be consistent and just have a great team also, because it's also very hard to do everything yourself. So have a good support system around you. Yeah, I was blessed that like I had an amazing team with me, with my colleague and my friends that were there to support me. It's also definitely not like solo success. It's a team effort. So yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, appreciate you for hopping onto my podcast. Definitely learned a lot of gems and stories about, your business, how you got started. I'd love to have you share with the audience how people can follow you and, of course, learn more about what you guys are doing there in Quebec. So if you don't mind, feel free to share your social media handle and email to get in touch with you guys, a website, and, of course, your location there so that people can come book a session or, come, like I say, learn more about MVT Plus. So go ahead.
So yeah, you can follow us. My own Instagram is Kching, uh, MVT Plus, and the clinic is MVT Plus, and also you know the website is mvtplus.ca. Our clinic is located in Montreal, in Villeray, right next to Jerry Park. And YouTube channel is coming soon. I haven't decided yet, and I have also my online course. That's also a work in progress. I haven't yet got my URL done, but that's also another work in progress. But only on my social media, it's all going to be there. And yeah, just maximum gains.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much. For those of you who are listening who haven't subscribed yet, like, follow, subscribe to Stretch to Go podcast. You can learn more about what I do. Of course, and learn more about how Kevin and I became FST practitioners. Go visit stretch2win.com. We can find a practitioner near you or finding a course so you can go and add this to your modality in your practice. But yeah, man, Kevin, appreciate it, brother. And let's definitely connect if I ever come up to Montreal.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Uh, let's connect when I come
You're
to the
welcome.
US too.
Yeah, come over. See ya.